Hey, I'm meteorologist Doug Myers with the latest forecast on this Thursday. Yesterday we had highs in the 50s, and that did include Manhattan and Concordia in the low 50s. There was an issue with the sensor that it stopped producing temperatures and showing up for much of the afternoon. So that's why a lot of those temperatures were old, and it's showing 30s and 40s, but you were in the low 50s like everyone else. It got up to 51 in Concordia, 53 in Manhattan. Temperatures today, gently upper 40s and low 50s with cloud cover and rain. Now, most areas will be dry for the majority of the day, but we will have rain developing, especially as we head into the afternoon, mainly after 3 o'clock. That's when we'll have our highest probability of a little bit more meaningful rainfall developing across the area. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of a cloudy and foggy day before then. You can see by 5 o'clock, just in time for that evening commute, it is going to be fairly rainy, especially for the eastern portion of our viewing area, and we'll continue with the rainfall through the overnight periods. But by tomorrow morning, by sunrise, that may be it. I'll still hold on to a very low chance of a brief rain shower possible, but I think the vast majority of the area stays or has that rain out of the area by sunrise, and you can see how quickly the sun pushes into the area with the cloud cover out of our area by 10 o'clock. And so we're really looking at a nice day tomorrow, be a little bit on the breezy side, so keep that in mind, but it is going to be dry for much of the day tomorrow. As far as today is concerned, through 5 o'clock, most of the rain along and south of I-70, and then we do start to get into a lot more of that rainfall for the overnight periods. And so by tomorrow morning, many spots could get near, if not more than an inch worth of rainfall. But yeah, some areas will get a little bit less. Looking at north central Kansas, may not get quite as much rain as compared to areas further off to the east, but definitely something that we're going to continue to keep an eye on. On the very, very low probability, there might be some isolated thunderstorms developing too, and a very low chance that there might even be a little bit of snow mixing with some of the rain tomorrow morning. But I think that risk is very, very low and would not be impactful at all. But generally speaking, the highest rainfall totals on all of our computer models are in the northeastern section of our viewing area. So that's where the higher confidence of getting at least an inch of rain will occur. As far as temperatures are concerned, we'll still be in the upper 40s, even low 50s tomorrow, and then well into the 50s over the weekend. Wouldn't even be surprised if some areas did reach 60, maybe Saturday, but certainly on Sunday. I'm still holding back just a little bit because of possible cloud cover, at least in Topeka with that 58 degrees. But we will be keeping an eye on a little bit more cloud cover for much of the weekend and into next week, which means the sunshine we get tomorrow may be the last time we get full-on sun for a while. So enjoy that. There's a lot of uncertainty on next week. Let's start off with Monday. Look at this. The European model has us still mild, upper 50s and low 60s for most areas, but the GFS has us much cooler and in the 40s. And that's about the trend that exists between these two computer models for much of next week. There's also a chance we might get some precipitation next week. It's not a whole lot. You can see the European model traced to 1 inch for the next 8 days, and maybe a little bit more widespread, traced to 1 inch beyond that Friday, Saturday. Otherwise, taking a look at GFS through Thursday, not much, but I will mention that there might be a little bit of a wintry mix, especially next, let me make sure I get the right, next Wednesday into Wednesday night. There might be a little bit of a mix that may lead to some minor ice accumulation, according to the GFS. So not much as far as snow is concerned, a little bit of a mix. And then we might get a little bit of snow for Friday and Saturday, not as widespread as the European model though. So obviously still some minor differences between those two computer models, and big differences in the temperatures as far as how warm it stays or how cold it gets for next week. So stay tuned for that. Meanwhile, you can see we're in the green for the 6 to 10 and 8 to 14 day outlook, which means probability of above average precipitation or wetter than normal conditions. So definitely something that we'll continue to focus on. Again, we're only focusing on northeast Kansas. That's the general weather pattern, so it's going to depend on track of those storm systems in the next week and a half to 2 weeks on what ends up happening. But at least in the next 8 days, it's mainly going to be tonight, and especially between 4 p.m. and 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. That's when we'll get the bulk of the rainfall that we'll be getting with the storm system. There wasn't much that fell from last night, so we're getting the bulk of it tonight. So be prepared for that. It certainly will help in melting a lot of the snow that we still have left, but also could lead to a few slick spots too, so just be aware of that. Have a great day.